Good morning everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome to Evita Cooks and Preps. Today I have a traditional and fun recipe just for the adults, and I will be sharing the Evita family secret recipe for sangria. I know it looks like a lot of ingredients, but don't worry, the full recipe is in the description box below the video. Most sangrias start with the traditional ingredients such as the apples, oranges, lemons, and limes. And clearly over the years, the sangria has evolved and every household has tailored it to suit their palate, as it is the case with this recipe. Here's a fun fact for you. While the sangria gained popularity in England and France in the 18th and 19th centuries, the sangria became most popular at the Spanish Pavilion during the World's Fair in New York City in 1964, and since then this popular drink has become a Spanish staple, which is why more than likely when you visit a Spanish restaurant or while in the Caribbean, you're likely to find a version of the sangria in most menus, which is why I'm so excited to share my version of this recipe. Before moving on to the recipe, I'd like to remind you to support the channel simply by watching the video, like, share, and comment for the YouTube algorithms, and activate the bell for more exciting recipes. Let's go. This is a two-part process that begins with processing the fruit, and because we will be using the whole fruit, I recommend that you use organic fruit if possible. Otherwise, make sure to soak and wash the fruit thoroughly before using them. Even though we'll be using alcohol to make the sangria, you never know what was used to process or grow your fruit, so it's always a good idea to rinse it and soak it. I use a solution of water and baking soda, and I keep my fruit submerged in it for at least 15 minutes, discard the water, and then repeat the process as needed, especially with the oranges and the apples. We're also going to need a vessel, and I'm using this glass one that can fit in the refrigerator because for the first part of this process, we're going to be fermenting or curing the fruit in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. If you can keep it longer than that, that will be ideal, which is usually what I do. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it in the refrigerator for about 24 hours so that we can move on to the next step. This will be the sangria that I will be serving at the New Year's Eve party. I plan to serve the fruit with the sangria, and as a rule of thumb, I like to cut my fruit into small bite pieces to make it easier. Not only does it make it easier, but it also makes it a little bit more appealing in the glass. How you cut the fruit is really up to you. It just depends on what you plan to do with your sangria. And when you core the apples, save the cores to make some vinegar. Don't waste anything. You have to maintain that prepper mentality, and if you don't have the time to make vinegar, you can always compost the cores. Just make sure it doesn't go to waste. And I'm just going to keep repeating the same process with the rest of the fruit, the orange, the lemons, the lime. And I cut the ends, and these I'll just dehydrate and make some tea with them. The easiest way to chop these, I find, is to cut them into thin slices. I'm using the last of my Meyer lemons. This year I was very blessed with some delicious Meyer lemons, and this is actually one of the last ones that I picked. I actually picked it this morning, and the difference between the Meyer lemons and the regular lemons is that they're less bitter and less sour. So that's basically the only difference. I actually enjoy eating the whole lemon, but I like sour things anyway. So I'm going to continue dicing all the fruits, and I'll come back once I'm done. I don't want to bore you with this process. As you can see, I'm just dicing all the fruit into small bite-sized pieces. Look at all that fresh fruit. Smells incredible in my kitchen right now. And what we have in the bowl is the classic fruits that you will find in most sangria recipe. And what makes my sangria different is that I like to add some citrus peels. I have here the peels of 2 mandarin oranges, and I'm going to just cut it into pieces and add them to the mixture. These are organic mandarin orange peels. And these are just going to add another level of citrus flavor to the sangria. And in addition to the peels, I like to add some fruit cocktail that I have strained. It's okay if you get a little bit of the syrup, that's fine, because we are going to add syrup to the sangria. Or simple syrup, which is the next ingredient. I'm using my pineapple simple syrup this time. I have some left over from a cake that I made very recently. If you don't want to go through the trouble of making a simple syrup, you can use the syrup from the fruit cocktail and that'll be fine. Next, I'm adding the white wine, and I'm using dry white wine, and I'm also adding the red wine. Okay, so this is going to cure or ferment in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. The longer you keep it, the better it will be. Just like many other things, it gets better with time. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to allow it to sit in the refrigerator covered for 24 hours, and then we'll come back and finish it. And more importantly, we're gonna try it. Fruit has been fermenting for 24 hours with the wine, and this is what it looks like. Check it out. And at this point you can smell the fruit, and if you taste the mixture, you would notice that the fruit has picked up some of the alcohol from the wine, and the wine has picked up some of the flavors from the fruit. The purpose of fermenting or curing the wine with the fruit is to create a fruity infusion. Basically, that's what this is. I know it seems like we have a lot of fruit in it. You could cut down on the amount of fruit you want, and as you can see, I like to cut my fruit in small bite pieces because when I serve the sangria, I like to add some of the fruit into it. But at this point, if you want, you can certainly strain some of the fruit and set it aside, and you could even use that fruit to make a batch of wine, which I have done in the past, and it tastes absolutely amazing. So it really is up to you what you decide to do with the fruit. Okay, so we're ready to finish the sangria, but to do that, I'm going to transfer the content into a bigger vessel because we still have to add more flavors to the sangria. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. To balance and counteract the sweetness of the fresh fruit and the fruit cocktail, I'm adding lemon juice and pineapple juice. The classic sangria calls for orange, and I'm adding some orange juice and some grapefruit, which is also an ingredient on the classic sangria. It's important to note that the fruit juices I added are 100% juice and sugar-free. That's going to impact the final results on your sangria. It looks good, it smells incredible already. And we're ready to finish the sangria. The next 2 ingredients are optional, but it is what it makes my sangria special and different. And I'm going to be adding some of my homemade limoncello and orange liqueur. Like I said, this is optional, but trust me, it adds a unique level of flavor to this sangria. I'm coming in with some sweet vermouth. Straight from my beautiful island of Puerto Rico, I'm using some gold Bacardi. You could use white Bacardi if you like, but this one, I promise you, tastes a lot better. Finally, to make it a little bit fizzy and bubbly, I'm adding a lemon lime soda. This is optional, and you could use the soda of your choice. I used a 0 sugar soda, but that's optional as well. And as you can see, this is coming along beautifully. If you want to get really fancy right before you're serving the sangria, you can bring out a platter of the extra fruit if you have any left. Since I'm going to be allowing the sangria to sit and rest for at least 2 hours before serving it, I'm going to be dropping a few extra slices of the oranges on top just to make it nice and pretty. Okay, check it out. Maybe I'll just put one more slice of that orange right on top, and we're done. For more family secret recipes like this one, consider subscribing to the channel, like, share, and comment for the YouTube algorithms, and activate the bell so you never miss out on any of my videos. And until next time, I'm Evita, Cooks and Preps. Cheers, everyone. You really have to try it.